that was what people.
We can always just do Joe Rogan style and just like mid-conversation start
That's what we
chatting.
did
I
last.
think, yeah, I think we should just do that. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll give a quick little intro for our poor listeners who's wondering what's going on. We've got the lovely Rebels together again, finally, and every time we do come together, can I just firstly acknowledge what an incredible feat it is across 4 different time zones to get all of us together? It's actually no small feat. So thank you everyone for being here. Should we go around the room and say a quick hi? Sarah, you go.
Oh, me? No, I don't want to go first. I want someone to. I feel like I always go first.
Well,
Who-
then we can just stick to the theme.
Oh, really? I'm just drawing a blank right now. Is anyone else
Okay,
got
well, you
any?
can just say a hi.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hi. Rita, do you want to say hi?
Yes, I can say hi. We were talking about hairstyles. So I am yin and yang, or yang and yin.
Nice, nice.
Hello, everyone. Greetings from Helsinki, Finland.
Didn't it sound, Janie? Didn't
Well,
it
it's
sound?
still morning here in Ireland, so good morning from Wild West Eastgate. We're still in the solstice energy here, so really in the kind of the darkness, and the sun isn't rising here until around 8:30. So yeah, enjoying it. It's been really clear. On my drive here, the sky was really cloudy, but there was a hole in the clouds and it was shaped like a swan.
Ooh.
And yeah, it was just so much swan energy around. So that was really beautiful way to drive down here and come and be with the rebels and everybody out there, wherever you're watching from.
Yay. Did it sound? Say hi.
Hi everyone. I'm in the same time zone as Janie, but I think it might be slightly lighter here than it is where you are, Janie, just a fraction.
Mm.
But can I just say how lovely it is as well? Because I've been where Janie is in Janie's amazing healing space. And
Oh,
so I'm looking at it and the triple goddess on the wall there, and I'm just like beaming because I'm like, oh my goodness, it's such a magical emporium. It's Janie's beautiful space. So it's really nice to kind of see this morning.
it really is the best. Like once we've had the opportunity to meet each other in person, and then when you meet online, it's just such a different experience. And that's, yeah, I think can so easily be misinterpreted online. But when you've met somebody in person and you've got that personality to go with, it just really, yeah, makes things so different. I have got nothing planned for today. As you know, I've been a bit unwell and I had my first day back in clinic today. So I've had back-to-backs all day. So I'm going to sit back and let you ladies chat because I am all like puffed out after consulting all day.
Maybe we should talk about solstice stuff.
Go for it. The
Mm.
floor is yours.
I know I don't want to go first. I want someone else to.
Oh,
I always go first. I don't want to.
Janie's always got something to say. We can make Janie go first. It's always got wise words of wisdom.
Yeah.
I probably talk too much, though.
No, I love it. I can listen to you all day, Janie. You've just got such a way with words, and
Oh,
yeah.
I can talk a little bit about it. So, well, because we're in the northern hemisphere, myself and Danitza and Reta are experiencing winter solstice right now. So, for us, it's really about that energy. Well, and everyone else in the northern hemisphere, it's about the energy of slowing down and entering the dream space and coming into connection with the cosmic mother and the energy of being in the void and in the darkness. And with that, then it's an invitation for everybody to come into stillness and to slow down and to really just drop into that steadiness of being quiet. And there's a real juxtaposition of energies, though, at the moment, because everybody's out doing their Christmas shopping and, preparing for family to arrive. And Rata's heading off on some travels, so the energies are hard to kind of navigate because of what's happening, in life with Christmas and stuff as well. And so you guys are on the opposite end of that scale where you're in the real creator energy. With the summer solstice, you're experiencing the return of the sun. In the longest day, actually, the sun starts to diminish. We're experiencing the return of the sun here in the north. And it's not going to actually really kick in until in bulk. So you have this, period here in the north where you have to slow down until in bulk. And sometimes it's hard to stay in that energy, but it is really, really important. Even speaking from our hormonal level, we need to slow down now so that we can restore our energy levels. And when we start again anew and in bulk in the spring, then we have those stores to draw on. And you guys are all out in the southern hemisphere, and it's late nights and lots of gatherings and being at the beach, and yeah, I guess it's a complete yin yang what's going on in the hemispheres. And here as well, there's lots of sea swimming here in the winter. We always have like a New Year's Day swim. So that's when you tend to see a lot of people in Ireland, is on that New Year's Day when everyone goes for a swim in the Atlantic. So it's really cold, but really restorative.
There's
So
that's been a thing, I think, maybe in the last 10 years at the winter solstice in Australia, well, certainly in this part of Australia, doing the cold swim on New Year's Day, in Tasmania and certainly, down the south here where I am too. I wonder if it came over, but I haven't done it yet, and you probably won't see me there.
yeah,
And we
it
get
is.
here in Brighton, it's a really big thing actually, sea swimming I live near Brighton in England on the south coast. And it's quite fashionable to go swimming in the sea. But on Christmas Day, they do a Santa swim in the freezing cold. So loads of Santas go in the sea, and it's a big thing to go and watch them.
Wow, beautiful. And do they do it in the nude? It's a
No.
nude thing. It's like you do it in the nude on sol.
I don't think they do. I've never actually been to watch it, but because it's really early in the morning, I don't think they do. From the pictures that I remember seeing, they are dressed in proper full Santa suits.
Oh, Santa's. Oh no.
I think now with social media, Sarah, and people probably get a bit concerned with naked bodies.
Yeah. But in Ireland, do you do it in the nude? The
In
swim?
Yeah,
Finland, we
well,
do. We go all natural.
Yeah. Oh, natural. There
yeah,
we are. The Finns are
We
doing.
just
actually even swim in the sea is not frozen. The Baltic Sea is not frozen, but in January it will be frozen. So it will be 0 degrees. The sea can only go to 0 degrees. Usually the water is like 4, but everybody does that all year round. Not everybody. There's many people who don't, but that's
Mm.
something that we enjoy. And actually tomorrow it's the 24th is Christmas in Finland. I always started at my sauna club in the morning. We sauna and go
Wow.
to the sea in like for 3 hours. And I think that's the most beautiful thing to do, just to cleanse the whole year.
Mhm.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the studies to come out that say that cold swimming causes heart attacks or is bad for you in some way, so that I can be vindicated, because I see all these people doing cold plunging and they say all the health benefits, this and that. I have zero desire to do that. Zero.
There is also like evidence that it's not great for your adrenals, especially in your menopause years, to do the hot cold.
Yeah.
Um,
You need to listen to your body. If your kidneys are doing fine,
Mm.
you can go swimming. If they're not, it will
Mm.
drain you. I've also noticed that with women.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when we invite international teachers from around the world, by the way, they do end up swimming in the
Mhm.
sea. Like, for example, Divya Chopra thought it was the best thing ever from India,
Wow.
and many others. So, when you have the sauna and you really the idea is that you need to heat up your bones if you go to
Mm.
0 degrees in the ice. And then actually, you can really beautifully take it. And you're not there for long because it's really cold. But you
Mm.
need to heat up your bones in a smoky sauna, and then it's no problem to go.
Mhm.
Are
You
you
Mhm.
can go
allowed to
like
have a few
3
drinks
times.
before you do it?
A few
Sorry?
drinks.
Are you allowed to have a few drinks before you do it? I could possibly manage that.
No, usually you don't,
You don't, damn
but you
it.
can if you want. Most people in Finland do, but when you do it like the healthy way, you really don't.
Okay.
And then some say that you should dip your head in, and you don't get dizzy if you dip your head in because you don't have a temperature change between the body and the head.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
I
hardcore. It's quite
aspire to
hardcore.
that, like Ujani, I've never been able to do that. I grew up in England, but I spent my summers going to Yugoslavia where my family were from, and it was Mediterranean, wonderful heat, and we spent all day out in a pool or by the sea in incredible temperatures. So the thought of going in kind of cold water, I'm like, yeah, it feels like an anathema to me, but I dream of it. I dream of being able to do it.
Mm,
Yeah, but my body kind of goes,
no.
no.
So,
Mm.
It's
what
it's
go for it, Jenny?
I was going to say it's much healthier to start an activity like that in the summer and then you build yourself up over consecutive weeks. If you try and swim 3 times a week and you stay doing that right up until these darker months, then your body starts to acclimatize to the weather and the conditions and the water. So then it's not such a shock. And in Ireland, like if I swim now, we have a mobile sauna. There's a real huge sauna culture has sprung up in Ireland since the pandemic. So there's lots of mobile saunas right beside the sea now. So you rent the sauna and you go in the sauna first and you stay in there until you're so hot you have to get into the sea.
Mhm.
And then you go back in the sauna, into the sea, back in the sauna, and then you finish in the sea. And you don't always have to swim. Sometimes I'll just go in up to my thighs and then I'll splash the water over my body. And like you guys were saying about the menopausal as well, if you've got your menses, your bleed, then you shouldn't swim because all your heat and all your energy is in your womb. So sometimes if you swim when you're bleeding, just even walking in up to your knees, your feet go like ice blocks and you get that really sore, prickly, that pain from being in the ice cold water. But yeah, I guess if you build it up over the year, Danitza, you'll be more accustomed to it come the
Mm.
winter.
Mm.
Yeah. And you just dip, like when I was in Helsinki with Reta and we swam in the Baltic, we literally jumped in and then got out again and went into the sauna. So yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
not
all
in there
about
for ages.
I'm all about the
Yeah.
sauna. It's actually 40 degrees here today in Perth, 41 degrees, and I'm tempted to actually go in the sauna, but I'm thinking I could actually just go outside instead. But I'm like, nah, sauna 60 degrees. I do that instead. I don't know how we got onto saunas, but what I actually really want to chat about is that all of us have had a huge year, and I just feel like we should
Mhm.
kind of like debrief.
Mhm.
And I feel like
Mhm.
Danetza, not that it's a competition, but I think that you've kind of like gone slightly nuts this year with everything that you've tackled with like, I don't know, writing like 10 books and starting a school and like
Oh,
going on lots of overseas trips and everything else. Do you want to give us like a little bit of a rundown of your 2024?
I'm pausing
what a
because I'm like,
shock.
I literally like, I haven't actually had time to stop and reflect on it, but it has been absolutely bonkers. Like I accidentally started a school, and like, and it happened because a friend of mine who I love dearly, I spent 2 years saying to her, "Oh, you must train to be a homeopath. You'll be amazing." And so I gave her lots of links, and was like, on, and she came up to me in February, March, and said, "Oh." She said, "I've realised why I haven't signed up for a school yet." And I was like, "Oh." And she went, "Because I'm waiting for you to start one."
Mm.
And it just landed. I just felt it. When something lands, I was like, okay, that landed. So I went away, designed the logo, came, kind of connected with the name, and then put it to one side. I was like, yeah, that's a really silly idea. And then a series of events happened and something kept niggling and saying, go on, have some conversations about it. And I met with Lisa Strabak and Ramona Popescu, who we were the kind of the core three Slavic sisters that kind of started it. And I met with them and well, I first spoke to them and they were both like, oh my God, so up for it. And we met at the end of June and I didn't sleep a wink the night before because I was like, oh, it's a really silly idea. I'm not ready. I did that thing, before you give birth, you go through that moment of like, no, I'm not doing it. It's got, it can't happen. And I didn't sleep a wink. And I went to that meeting thinking, oh yeah, I'm just going to have to say to them, it's a no. And I went to this meeting, it was end of June, and they just listened to me have a wibble very patiently for ages. And I was very gently trying to let them down and go, yeah, I don't think I can really do this year, maybe for next year. And I don't know what I was thinking. And there was this amazing moment where they waited for me to finish, and then they both leaned in and they went, it's okay, you're not doing it on your own. We think it's amazing, you've got to do it. And then they just went off into this massive like space of excitability, so much so that I just didn't have the heart to say to them, actually, I came here to say it wasn't going to happen. And then I walked away a bit stunned going, shit, I'm going to have to actually do it. And literally, I mean, there's a joke amongst our students, and Rita and Janie we've been blessed to share an incredible weekend together there. And the students are just, I told the students that on the very first day, and there's a joke in the school about how I went to school and it just went, and, and I've never been able to do anything like that in my life, materialize anything. But we've got 42 students who are the most incredible souls. It's been one of the only times I've ever worked this hard in my life. It's part pre-recorded and part live, and so there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes to put the recordings together. It's such a great love for me. And one of the things that I love, I started teaching again. The best things in my life happened to me by accident. And I accidentally ended up becoming a trainer 30 years ago because I was in the wrong meeting, which is a whole other story for another time. And I loved it so much. And right from the beginning, the thing that I loved about running training courses and just seeing people learn, and I'm sure all of you will really get this, is when you see people have those eureka moments where they realise what they're capable of, it's utterly phenomenal. To me, it's like food for my soul to watch other people go, oh my God, look what I can do. And that's why I love doing it. We've got some of the most present, we're so blessed with our students. They're some of the most present people I've ever come across. They are so committed and passionate and excited, and they do amazing things. Like you would have seen my post about literally on the solstice. So one of the things that the students were learning about this month was we were going on a journey of the history of vitalistic medicine, going all the way back to ancient Egypt and ancient Greece and ancient Rome, and looking and talking about Paracelsus and Swedenborg, and it's been a really beautiful journey. And one of the things that I touched upon, and it's all inspired by the work of one of my two favourite teachers ever, Jerome Whitney, who taught this beautifully, who's with us in spirit. And we had this incredible teaching from him about, there was a crash in the UK on the 18th of June 1972, where 16 members of the homeopathic community died in a plane crash in Staines coming out of Heathrow Airport in England, where everybody died. Some people call it the Trident crash, and sometimes it's called Papa India, which was the call sign for the plane. And one of our students came along to our last weekend, and she said, so I watched that video, and I grew up near there, and I asked my mum about it. And she said, my mum told me that my granddad was one of the first people on the scene because he was a gas engineer, and they had to make sure that the place was safe and there wasn't going to be a gas explosion before emergency services could come in. So she had this massive sudden connection to it. And one of the things that happened, it was such a huge tragedy and such a huge loss in the homeopathic community in England. And most of the people were travelling to a congress in Brussels, and most of the people worked either at the Royal Homeopathic Hospital or were part of the faculty. They were medical doctors, hugely influential medical homeopaths in the UK. And something really happened as a result of that. There was a shift. I suppose there was an opening and coming together of the homeopathic community. Some of the medical homeopaths started to attend the more spiritual teachings of Thomas Morn and others in the UK. So there was this real kind of opening into the more spiritual ways of practicing homeopathy. I suppose, you know, we all do that. In a tragedy, we look for meaning. And I'd shared that with the students. And this one student, whose granddad was the first on the site, one of the first on the site, and she didn't know this. She went along on the solstice 2 days ago. And she sat at the memorial and she took 16 white roses, one for each of the people who had died from the homeopathic community. And she laid them in a beautiful circle. It makes me want to cry, actually. It was so... And she named each and every one. And she took a glass of water and she put it over a piece of paper that said gratitude on it. And she dropped some golden spiral into it. And then she walked around spreading golden spiral around the area of the crash site. And she did that. And I was like, you know, when you watch people do amazing things like that, these are our students. They're such present human beings. And there's so much love been going off in the WhatsApp group for her and what she did and emotions. And, you know, just this is who they are. And I can't quite believe it. And Rita and Janie, we had such an incredible weekend together. I feel also, if I'm allowed that brief moment in time, I really feel to name those 16 people. I just feel the call to name them. And if I'd be allowed that blessing. But before I do, Rita and Janie were with us the weekend. We did a really remarkable, we shared an amazing weekend together where we did a day of consolating on the Saturday, and on the Sunday, we explored the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, and Janie and Rita and also Daniel Burge and Declan Hammond joined us for the weekend. It was utterly phenomenal, and you were so with us in spirit, Eugenie and Sarah. And like I've had some quite interesting feedback and comments of like, well, you know, how can you be doing constellations? It's a homeopathy course, and you know, there's been some quite interesting feedback, and it was like, yeah, but this is where we're learning the history. We're seeing the history unfold. And one of the things that blew me away was I went in after what happened in Bali. I really wanted to explore James Tyler Kent's early life, because I think there's a big contribution to how we live now as homeopaths and the challenges we face in relation to that. So I was all ready and all set for that. And that's not how we began the day. In fact, amazing things happened the day before, because Declan had represented James Tyler Kent in Bali. Daniel had represented Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. They were both supposed to arrive at the same airport in London, half an hour apart the day before. And they literally, because there was a terrorist threat or bomb scare at Gatwick where they were due to land, Declan and Daniel got sent to literally polar opposite airports outside the big outer ring of London. So it was like the two big teachers had come in, they were supposed to come in together, but they ended up completely apart. So the constellation began even before we got to the school weekend. But the thing that blew me away, it was so many things blew me away, but there was this amazing moment where I was all ready to start the first constellation about James Tyler Kent, and I'd just been teaching about the Four Masters and Melanie that morning, and we mentioned Henrietta, Dr. Hahnemann's first wife, and you felt, everybody in the room and online felt it, because we've got students zooming in from around the world. It literally just went, phew. And we felt Henrietta land, and one of our students had shown up literally, like she's normally flat-bellied, she literally was like 9 months pregnant. And she was like, I don't know why I've shown up like this. She was trying not to cry, but I feel like I'm 9 months pregnant. And it turned out she was constellating Henrietta. And we got to see and experience and feel the sacrifice that Henrietta and their 11 children made, because he was a completely absent husband and father. He was dedicated. We have the blessing of the work that we do because of their sacrifice. And we don't often see that. And that was a really beautiful blessing. And then the second constellation we did with Melanie, and the patriarchy, which was incredible. But for me, the most beautiful piece about that was Rita and I did that together as principals from two schools. We did that together. We literally were joined at the hip with our arms around each other all the way through that constellation. Before we said anything in terms of facilitating the next part of the constellation, we would look at each other and we would confer and we'd check in with each other about what we felt was the next step in the constellation. And it was this real piece for me about representing the new paradigm and the age of Aquarius, which is about collaboration and working together. And it was such a moment of love for me that I was there with Reit and we were there together doing this. It was just magic, you know, sister schools. I've been talking about how we're like sister schools, you know, it was such a blessing. And the third constellation, Daniel shared with us his vast methodology process and brought it to homeopathy as a whole kind of field in and of itself, as a whole profession, which was so beautiful and profound. And then to hear Declan and Daniel talking about the sacred masculine and Janie and Rita talking about the sacred feminine on the Sunday, literally you could have heard a pin drop all day long in the room, because everybody was so captivated by the incredible depth and wisdom and openness and sharing. And so I'm constantly in awe. I'm constantly needing a bit more sleep, but constantly in a place of the most incredible gratitude at bringing together these incredible experiences from these incredible, you all inspire me so much. And, you know, to be able to share this with our students and bring in new ways of connecting. Yeah, it's just honestly, if you'd have said to me 6 months ago that this is where my life would be and this is how my life would be, I would have laughed at you. And yet here we are. And yeah, I'm just beyond grateful. And thank you for allowing me the space to wibble as long as I have.
That's all right.
I just feel like if it's okay to share those 16 names.
Yeah, go for it.
And just to honour, for me, there's this really important piece about going back to our those who came before us, who inspire the way we are. So here it is. In honour of Frederick W. Adams, former Secretary and Registrar of the Pharmaceutical Society of Great Britain, and Margaret Adams, his wife. Isabel Mackay Campbell, Regional Representative for Scotland. Dudley Wootton Everett, Honorary Associate Member of the Faculty. Margot Everett, his wife. Marjorie Gollum Feigenbaum. Miss Elizabeth Sharp Hawthorne, Nursing Administration from Edinburgh, Matron of the Glasgow Homeopathic Hospital. Sergei William Cadley, Associate Member of the Faculty. Ludi Marilone Kandala. Kay Cortha Kandala. Teresa Kandala. Joan Natalie Macover, Associate Member of the Faculty. John Robertson Rayside. Mary Young MacArthur Stevenson. Elizabeth Somerville Stewart, Associate Member of the Faculty. Thomas Fergus Stewart. And we always, before we teach, we name all of the greats who are in the heavens, because they guide our teachings and we remember their gifts. And I just also would like to finish by honouring Hayley Hurst, who is our student, who had the presence of mind and the heart and soul to do this incredible thing that she did on behalf of us all. Thank you.
That's beautiful. And there's some rumblings of a Golden Spiral School of Homeopathy starting up in Australia, potentially in September. Vanessa might not be too happy about me mentioning it, but I figure you heard it here first. So if anyone's listening and they're interested, it's definitely.
And in the US as well.
The US as well. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Denitsa. And Rita, you've been up to all sorts of things, and I'm so glad that you've been speaking about your shamanic remedies of the Arctic in Bali, but then also there's been more and more of that coming out, like with the Autumn of Healing, you spoke about some of them as well, and people are really, really resonating with those remedies. Hey, it just really feels like the time is right. And you've had all sorts of unbelievable things happening at your school as well, and all sorts of things happening this year. Do you want to give us a little bit of a wrap up of your 2024?
Thank you. I think the shamanistic remedies, we started doing them in 2012. Actually, with the black swan that I understand now, which is not a shamanistic remedy, but it made us dive into a shamanistic whirlpool, which I'm going to finish in February in Bilbao by adding the black swan and the white swan and Hilma af Klint's work together. And I feel really strongly pulled by that. So we are writing a book. It's 20 remedies now that we came up together, and this will be maybe number 21, but we still have like 4 to do. Some are these Finnish plants like hypericum and things that are for women's health, but we are doing reindeer horn with my masterclass, which is something that I really am it's like a creation that has been building for 25 years. So I have 18 students in my masterclass, and that has been one of the biggest, like this year has been creating. I love being a creatrix. It's really been creating new worlds. And we will end it with the reindeer horn in the land up north in the dark, because their light comes at that time, the light for the first time. You know, in Finland, you don't have, light up north for 3 months. It's complete darkness practically, and some blue. So that's what's happening up there. But then I'm so grateful for this collaboration also, because, I have been working mostly in Finland and then, in Italy and in Africa, with my homeopathy. But then I feel like this year has been a year of expansion and going international. I've always invited people to come and teach at my school, but I was so happy by Denitsa to be invited to teach at her school and to be supporting the new school, which is like a dream that we had years back, that we could have a school like that. And it's beautiful to see that manifesting. And also the amazing Bali trip that Eugenie and Sarah and Marcus Fernandez and Ren Lloyd put together, and all the collaboration of people and the amount of love that was shared over there, and to be a part of that. And then I also feel like after Bali, I think I was on 2 or 3 podcasts every week. And now it's slowing down. And I'm like, okay, I breathe a little bit, because at the same time, running a school, as Denitsa knows, it's a full-time job. I'm like, I work for 14 hours a day, and this has been going on for, I don't remember when. Not having a partner at home, it's easy to work all the time. And because you love it, and my kids have grown up. But I said 2025 is really going to be for me. And, I'm like closing down some things and then also going international as a sister school. And so many things that have been like brewing over here next year. And this is like, I feel like it's just like, and I must also say that working with hydrogen water has done the expansion for me. So 2 years ago, I started working, and that's really like, that's something that has been my fuel for, letting things manifest. Many, like, I think quite big remedies with the school. Aquamarina artica was really water, and then wine, which was also really time, and they are both water remedies. So that's the next thing I'm working on, and hopefully getting a book out about that as well. So, the water remedies, because it's all about birthing and being in the source energy and in the yin. And of course, at the same time with Janie, we've Sacred Source School. Yes, I must say 2024, it's been huge. You know, the list just goes on, and it's just been about creating and sharing, living your fullest. I mean, in so many ways, reclaiming
I think is your
on,
connection dropping out every now and again?
and then meeting.
Is Yeah, I think your connection keeps dropping out, Rita.
Is it
I wonder if Janie maybe wants to share about the source school, only because we're only
is it
catching
okay now?
it kind of every third word or so drops out a bit.
Okay. Oh, it's too bad. How is it now?
I
Can
mean
you hear it?
well, yeah, keep going,
No.
see how you go. It's kind of like every third word or so, it's a little
Okay.
bit hard to hear.
Oh, that's too bad. My internet is in the other room because my daughter is sleeping. I should have taken it with me and with all the cords, but I thought that it's okay. Anyways, whatever. Maybe every third word is important, because there's so much. But it's been lovely, working with the sisterhood and creating together with sisters and with women, because sometimes when you run a school, you're pretty much creating it by yourself. So, opening up to co-creating and being in the Aquarian energy of not having to do it all by yourself. That's such a huge blessing.
Mm.
Thank you.
I definitely want Janie to tell us more about the source school because you've had a few connections already. I wonder, do you mind carrying on, Janie, just sharing about the source school?
Oh, I'd love to. That would be amazing. God, there's so much to say. Thank you, Danitza. That was just incredible to hear. Of course, I know the story of the Golden Spiral School of Homeopathy, but to hear the work that Haley's, been doing, it kind of feels like a continuation of the constellating that we did on the weekend. And it's so important that we honor our lineage in homeopathy. And I just really felt that really deeply. So I just wanted to say thanks to Danitza. It was really, I think that's a huge aspect that needs to be, really shared. So it's just so much amazing stuff happening in homeopathy. And, people kept saying homeopathy is the medicine of the future. And I remember saying this a while ago, that it's actually the medicine of now. And me and Mel Kupsch were talking about this as well. And that's something that Reta and I spoke about with the Sacred Source School, that homeopathy is going through this huge renaissance, as well as a kind of an expansion where people are coming into it with other modalities and, kind of medical people as well coming into learning about homeopathy. And with the Sacred Source School, Reta and I have got a lot of other modalities and feathers in our bow. So we work very, dynamic in that sense. And we wanted to be able to create a school that we could share our magic and our wisdom and our medicine and help other women also to really find and accentuate and birth their own, and not just be homeopathic with it. That's our kind of, what we stand on and stuff. But there's so much around energy healing, and Reta does shiatsu and tuning forks and crystals and the radionics machine, and really helping women to find their sovereignty and their sacredness. So there's so much wisdom between us. We wanted to actually be able to share that in a way that suited us and not be governed all the time by a kind of a society or other people telling us, what we can and can't do. Because there's a lot of criteria that you have to follow running a school. So we wanted to be a little bit more rebellious and do things our own way. So Berta had this huge desire for many years to create a school that she could yeah, just kind of run in her own way. And when she said it to me a couple of years ago, it was a full body yes. Was I interested in doing it? Because I teach a lot as well, and my teaching's really expanded from this being in the school in Helsinki and then coming to Denitsa's school as well. And also I have students here of my own that, my Reiki students. So it feels like a natural progression to step into kind of, allowing a new kind of school to emerge out of our wisdom. And we operate from the frequency of the healed sisterhood. And this is such a huge part of our sharing, is showing up with that openness and that desire to help women operate from the same frequency. And I mean, you guys know this about us. We're always banging on about the importance of, co-creation and collaboration. And part of being a homeopath is operating from a place of non-judgment. And that is such a huge piece with the frequency of the healed sisterhood. So that's, I guess, for the Sacred Source School. I could talk about it all day, but we've done 2 offerings. We did 11/11, which was just kind of dipping your toe into building an altar. And that was really, really beautiful. We had some really amazing feedback from that. And it was a 2-hour online container. If anybody wants to purchase that, we have it available still. So you can watch it, and it just allows you to understand how an altar can work in your life and how you can actually anchor so much into not just your working life, but your life by using an altar, working with the elements, working with the directions. And then we had the one on 12/12, which was the Maria Magdalena altar. So Rita and I went to France last year. And from that journey, we went to Santa Bom, to the cave of Maria Magdalena, and made a really beautiful remedy that has just created such a depth. And it's another water remedy. I'm sure Rita will put it in the book. That has created so much healing. And for me, that's really encompassed a lot of my year this year. That journey that it's taken me on has really helped me to refine my business as well. Like, I know that the work that I'm getting into now is so much more about helping women heal. All the stuff orientated around the room. I trained to be a doula as well in the last year, so stepping into that kind of role of helping women birth these new children that are coming through into the world, and offering homeopathics in those circumstances. And yeah, oh my goodness, there's so much has happened this year for all of us. Bali was absolutely mind-blowing. It was such a huge something magical really happened in Bali, Eugenie, with all the work that you and Sarah and Ren and Marcus and everyone that attended that conference. It was absolutely next level. Something really, really incredible is happening in the healing arts at the moment. And I think, we've spent this year riding dragons, really in that mythological energy of the dragon. And it has been a tough year as well. There's been some really, really difficult things to navigate this year, and people have gone through a lot of really challenging things. It hasn't all been kind of, fluffy and rainbows and joy. There's been a lot of struggles in the world. As we move out of this year into next year, we go more into that snake energy, into the serpent energy. So there's going to be a lot of shedding of layers happening. And I'm really excited. This is my last year in my 40s. I'm 50 next year. And Sarah, you are as well soon, aren't you? In a few days. So yeah, this year for me has been really also expansive, but I'm coming a little bit more now into a place of contraction where I'm really looking at how fast and rapid I've expanded. And I just want to kind of marinate in the next few weeks, months even, and really refine what I'm doing. I've got some amazing podcasts coming up to go on, and I feel like my energy is moving in a really beautiful, fluid direction. And yeah, refining what's actually been birthed this year so that I can show up in really deep service for everybody in my own community and for what's to come. So and thank you so much to each one of you. It has been such a joyful year with you four women. And in the homeopathic community, I just feel so grateful, actually, really, really grateful to be a homeopath in this time. And yeah, it's this kind of like there's not enough words or time in the day to be able to share the depth of how fortunate I feel we are that homeopathics is rising rapidly. And I spoke into this in Bali, rise of the homeopaths has been a hashtag that I've used for the last 4 years. And this is it. We are bringing this modality to the forefront, and this integration that's starting to take place with modern medicine and also homeopathics and all these other modalities. There's this huge shift happening. And I think homeopathy is at the cutting edge of that. Really is. So thank you. Thank you everyone out there as well.
Thank you. Sarah, do you want to have a little chat? You've had a really busy year as well with us organizing the conference, and you've just done a huge series of lectures at CHE, Centre for Homeopathic Education, and you'll work with the Hive, Homeopathy Hive, and the School of Intuitive Homeopathy, and everything else that you've had going on as well.
Yeah.
How would you sum up your year?
It's been, I mean, from everything Janie said, like it's almost, I feel like I resonate with, all of that. It's just been a huge year, and Bali, of course. And I think that, the sisterhood part of it, because in Bali this year I met Angelica for the first time, and Angelica and I have been working together for many years, and we got to be in each other's energy directly, which was amazing. And so we kind of we birthed these things together years ago from across the other side of the world to each other, and it's all kind of rolled on. So that it was just so amazing to connect with her, and also to go, and actually we had a homeopathy hive meeting the other day, and we were all like, what especially the core group that were there from the start. Angelica and Bridget Biscotti Bradley and I co-founded Homeopathy Hive to hold space for women to heal their children, but to navigate that was what we did. And for me, it was my kind of idea in the start, and I wanted to work with Angelica on that. We were collaborating, but there's one of me and my books are overflowing. And I know from my own experience with my own children that you need to be creative when these kids, and there's just so many kids presenting with some really unusual illnesses and getting sicker and sicker. And this way of working actually works. And so, I can't see all of these families. This is an issue that's growing exponentially. And so that's when we kind of started it, and we kind of had a bit of a recap year, and we were like, what we're doing is actually really amazing. Am I allowed to swear in this one, or are we not? Like, are we going to edit it
You
or
can
not?
go for it.
Okay. Well, it's really fucking amazing. And to see all of these women that we're training, and there's been a few men, to work with kids in this way is just so incredibly, like, it just really kind of lights me up. And then to see these practitioners and women going out in the world and I can see that spark that goes off. Even some of the I have 4 practitioners that work in my clinic here in Australia, and there's 7 in the hive. And when I've seen that kind of spark, like Denitsa said, like when you see that's like, oh yes, I'm doing something that really makes a difference, and I'm actually doing it, to see that, like that lights me up as well. And I think this year has totally like made it all go, oh, this is really happening. I can see the fruits of our labors kind of like really coming to light. Um, so that's been amazing. And then, of course, meeting all of you guys in Bali, that was also just so incredibly, heartfelt, amazing. It was like we'd all known each other for so, so long. And, we were all so comfortable, and it happened like that. And Bali itself, so many beautiful, beautiful people there. And, I think as well, I'm about to turn 50 in 5 days. And, I'm having a lot of thoughts about that, I've been wanting to turn 50 for so long now, I have to say. I've had people saying, oh gosh, how are you feeling? It's just like, I have been waiting to be 50, finally it feels like I can grow into my shoes or something, I think my 50s are going to be my decade, really. And so it's almost like a lot of things are being woven together uh, in this year. And so I'm quite excited for 2025 and whatever that is going to bring. But it is super exciting. And, day by day, like just working with kids, working with families, like that's just, totally drives me along and lights me up, and all the wonderful ways that homeopathy does that. And so I'm hoping, I mean, I know I've got a lot of teaching stuff going on in 2025 as well. So um, I'm looking forward to that. But 2024 has been huge and big and difficult at times and transformative, absolutely. And I know that's not just for me, but for many of my clients and for everyone here as well. Like I think 2024 has been a bit of a gift in that way.
Been a big one, that's for sure. And yeah, definitely the cherry on the cake was Bali. There was so much work that went into organizing that. And I don't know, crazily or not, we've decided we're going to do it again in 2025. But please don't email me asking for tickets, because all the tickets will pretty much have been already sold. So I am thinking we should have like a second Bali one just for like the listeners of the podcast, because so many people have said that they want to come along, but because of the venue, there's only limited tickets and it's quite a small event. So but that was spectacular. Absolutely amazing. It was so incredible meeting you all. I've had a big year too. And I actually said that I wasn't going to have a big year. I said that I was just going to have a nice cruisy year, 2024, because it's just been one crazy ass year after the next since 2020. Like my business just exploded since 2020 and gotten so busy. And I'm like 2023, end of 2023, I was like, that's enough. 2024 is going to be my cruisy year. And it has not been the case. It's just been so busy. People are so hungry for homeopathy. The podcast is now in the top 1.5% in the world. Joe Rogan is 0.05%. So I've still got a little way to go. But I mean, we're on 645,000 downloads when I checked. So we should be on like 1 million downloads in the next few months. And I mean, that's been pretty amazing. If you told me 3 years ago when I started the podcast that this would be the case, I wouldn't have believed you. So thank you to all of you for being on the podcast, all my other amazing guests that have been on as well. It's created so many opportunities, so it's been amazing. My beautiful mum passed in May this year, so that was another kind of big thing. And my dad passed in 2020, and now her as well. So it's been a lot. It's just been a lot. I have launched my membership, which is something that I've been wanting to do for many years. So we tried to launch it. My hubby and I tried to launch it in September 2021, but so many people were saying they don't want to be on Facebook. And so we spent like, I won't even say how many thousands of dollars to create a off Facebook platform. And my hubby spent 6 months developing the software. We launched it and it was an epic failure. epic failure, like lost thousands and all those months of work because nobody was ready to come off Facebook. And I always knew in my head I wanted to relaunch a membership because, like, Sarah and everyone else, my books are so full. I've had it closed for 4 years, but I open it for like 24 hours, like once a year. And then I'm booked up for the next 6 months, which is such a privileged position to be in. But I want to be able to help more people. And it's like heartbreaking when people say, they really want to come and see you. And that some of the stuff that they can do themselves. And I think that's where Homeopathy Hive is amazing, because some of the stuff you can teach people to do themselves in a safe space, if you're holding them in a safe space. And so I always had that in the back of my head that, I've done over 6,000 consultations in the last few years. And so I've learned a couple of things from that. And so I want to share that. And a membership is the way that I felt was the way to do it. So we launched the membership on the 25th of November, and we had 350 people sign up in a week. And the doors are closed now. And we've got a beautiful Rebelza in there as well. I sneaked them in because I just couldn't. I feel like I can't do anything without you ladies, by my side. And it's just been amazing. So that has been like the cherry on the cake for me with this. I did push myself a little bit too much and I crashed and burned, and I'm just recovering from all of that, which is why I look a bit worse for wear today. It's actually, I kind of feel like that, but whenever I'm with you ladies, I always feel like lifted up. So that was probably my highlight of the year, is launching the membership, because something I've wanted to do for so long. And the energy in there has just been like amazing right off the bat. I mean, I know all of you have had that as well with all of your projects that you've done this year. It just feels like the time is so ripe for homeopathy. People are so hungry for the information. And so the membership has just gone off. It's been so cool. It's been amazing. So so we do have an off Facebook platform where we store the videos and the lives, and then we have the Facebook community as well. So that's been amazing. And then our whole family's going traveling for 6 months in January in a caravan around Australia. I say 6 months in the back of my head, like, oh my God, I don't know if we're going to make it for 6 months. We're going to try for 6 months. But I am really excited to see a bit more about this country that we've called home the last 8 years. So I really want to go see the East Coast. I'm excited to come and visit you, Sarah, park our caravan up on your beautiful land and come see all your parrots there that you've tamed, and just see a little bit of the other side of Australia, and hopefully meet a lot of my clients that I've previously only treated online. I hope to have little catch-ups in all the major cities to actually meet a lot of these clients in person, which will be lovely. I'm still going to be doing my online consultations for my existing clients. So I'm really excited about that prospect, and I'm really grateful to homeopathy as a career that's actually allowing our family to do this for 6 months, because I'm not one of those clever people that have investment properties and things like that I can go and rent my home and go traveling, and living off my investment income. I still have to continue working. So it's going to be 6 months of working on the road. But, there's not many jobs where you can have this luxury of going traveling and still having a job. So I'm grateful to homeopathy as a career. And I'm grateful to you sisters, because I know I couldn't have made it through this year without the four of you. So thank you so much for holding me more times than I care to admit. And we were just talking about human design the other day, and I'm a projector, and the other 4 amazing rebels are all manifesting generators, which they apparently are good at creating their own energy, and projectors are not. So that's why I keep burning the candle at both ends and then crash and burn. But the 4 of you have it's been so amazing to have you in my life. And thank you so much for picking me up all the many times that I've fallen down this year, and all the holes that you've gotten me out of, and all the crazy things I've gotten myself into that you've managed to help me out of. So I'm hugely indebted to the 4 of you. Thank you so much.
Can I just echo that? Bless your heart. I'm so grateful to the 4 of you. It feels like such an incredible journey that we're on together. And this sisterhood is it's so beautiful and profound, and the explorations and the conversations and the discoveries and the journeying together. It's just it's incredible, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of you, and thank you to each and every one of you for the incredible love and wisdom and kindness and support and all the swearing and the laughter and the fun as well. Just so grateful. Thank you to
I
each and
do
every one
think
of
it would make an interesting book if we had our WhatsApp conversations in like a book or something. I think
you.
it would be a very interesting learning experience for a lot of people. It's I'm continually inspired by you ladies.
I also want to acknowledge all of this and then especially send all the love to Sarah and then as well Janie next year turning 50. I remember the moment I turned 50. I felt my life expand.
Mm. Mm.
Just the morning that I woke up, I said, what is different? I said, ah, my container is bigger.
Mm.
And I loved, now it's 1.5 years. I've loved every single moment of being 50 and fabulous.
Love it, love it.
Thank
For
you.
all the women out there,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's the most amazing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh. Hope you have an
Okay.
amazing birthday, Sarah. Amazing, amazing. So Sarah's birthday's on the
Sarah.
28th. So this episode's coming out on tomorrow, the 24th. So yes, do feel free
Oh,
to
yeah.
flood Sarah with messages.
Thanks. Yeah.
I want to say, I
Sorry.
want, oh, sorry, Sarah, you go.
I was just going to quickly say it's a really shit time of year to have a birthday, but lovely that we're celebrating it here right now,
Yeah.
and everyone's going to know.
But Sarah, it's the holy nights of the Christmas. I mean, it's the most sacred time to have your birthday, actually.
It is, but
Mm.
it's sacred, but it's also, often people forget. You're kind of, like it's always been that like, oh, was it your birthday? It's just one of those things. But I'm actually kind of growing into that now.
And you
But
get your Christmas present lumped with your birthday present. Did you get that as
yeah,
well?
yep. And I'm a twin, so sometimes it,
Of
you know,
course.
wrapped in together. And um, yeah, I guess there was a lot of kind of everyone's forgotten again kind of experience as I was growing up. But I've actually kind of in many ways in the last 5 years or so taken it as a blessing as well, because also everyone's on holidays. And so if anyone is around and not gone away, then they're free to do things, and it's not just a work day or a busy day. So in many ways that is a blessing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted
Happy
to,
happy birthday for then.
yeah, happy birthday.
Thanks.
I wanted to really give such a deep thank you to all your listeners as well, Eugenie.
Oh.
And like so many people have emailed me from seeing all of us on the podcast and booked consults through you sharing, the interview that we did together. And so we wouldn't be here without those people, and also all the students in the schools. I feel so proud of them. Rata's students and Denitz's students, they are so hungry for these learnings. So I want really to say thank you to them as well. And of course, Sarah, the school that you and Angelica have with intuitive homeopathy. It's such a blessing to know that these students are the way that they are.
Mm.
They're
Yeah.
so open, they're so ready. And yeah, I think that for me is just I feel really honored to be a teacher for these women and these men that are coming up the ranks. And I just want to wish everybody a really abundant and expansive year for the year ahead, and that, giving great thanks for all our families as well in this
Mm.
moment. They're so precious to us all. And yeah, just wish everybody out there that they have a really, really beautiful time now over the festivities, and that they take care and hug your family and hug your friends and tell them that you love them and have some fun and get in the ocean, go for a swim. Yeah, and just thank you to you four women. It's really, really special to have this sisterhood.
Mm.
It's magical.
That is one of the
Yeah.
things I so love and appreciate about you, Janie, is that you always remember the extra little bits that make something so special. I'm so glad you acknowledged our listeners, because the podcast could not be where it is if it wasn't for our listeners. If nobody was listening, we would not be here right now. So thank you to all our beautiful listeners. We have some unbelievably dedicated listeners that have listened to every single episode, some of them twice, and we get such incredible feedback. And I've had so many guests on the podcast tell me that their business has grown so much because of being on the show. So it's lovely that the listeners actually go out, buy books, buy courses, go and see the people who have been on the show and actually support them. So thank you to all our beautiful listeners. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And to you,
Definitely.
Jeannie, for providing the space and the platform,
Oh,
and being such a great interviewer, and
yes.
bringing so many people together. I think that's also a huge gift.
It is a pleasure. I'll give you a little sneak peek of what I think. I'm not allowed to have favorite podcast interviews, but I have got an interview coming out on 23rd of December. Oh, that's today. Oh, awesome. That's today's episode. Yay! I've been so excited about this one coming out. I'm like, it's such a time, like, that this time warp,
Yeah.
this interview. I don't even know what day it is. But it's today. So if you're listening to this, it's yesterday's episode with Barbara Braun, which I actually have. I bought 10 copies of her book. I have got the, so spoiler alert for like some people, some of the homeopaths around me, copies of her book, Homeopathic Remedies from Southern African Endangered Medicinal Plants. Go and listen to the 23rd of December's episode. This
Wow.
Barbara Braun personifies for me what it was I was trying to achieve with this podcast, to tell people about homeopathy in the far corners of the world. So this is in Swaziland, where they have got this clinic where they're doing incredible work and now are preserving plants that are endangered in Swaziland and turning them into homeopathic remedies, and working with the local shamans, teaching them how to make homeopathic remedies from their plants so that they can preserve them. The shamans giving them information about the plant medicine. It is, I have got full on like
I'm fully tingling. Yeah.
goosebumps.
Me too.
I couldn't have finished the year off with a better like interview. And Barbara Braun is freaking amazing. She wrote this book with Richard Pitt, and when he was on the podcast, he mentioned about it. I'm like, who is this Barbara Braun lady? I need to talk to her. So I
Amazing.
finished it off on a massive highlight for me, and went straight onto Amazon and bought 10 of her books and been giving them away as gifts, because I think what they are doing is amazing. So yeah. Anyway, thank you, lovely ladies. It's lovely to hang out with you.
Oh,
And
Thank
all the best for all of you for 2025. And I'll see you again in Bali.
You will.
thank you. Merry
thank
Christmas.
you.
Yes. Merry
you.
Christmas.
Merry
Thanks,
Christmas.
everyone.